my death day, you idiots! For women are as roses, whose fair flower, being once displayed, doth fall that very hour. Oh, doesn't even make sense. You rise to play and go to bed to work. Wasn't meant to sound like that. I don't think I meant to be so harsh. Don't look at me like that. It's not like all of us could die young and get the glory. Forever remembered as the clever one, the handsome one, the one that looked cool. Me? I make school children groan and sob the minute my name's mentioned. Adults, well, only pretend to care. Makes them look clever. I'm sure you would have done better. Probably why they think you're me. Probably why, yeah. No. No, I won't text him. Why would I text him? Why? No chance. Okay, fine, but if it goes wrong, it's on you, okay? Are you free?
Why, this is hell, now I am out of it. Thinkest thou that I saw the face of God and tasted, the eternal joys of heaven? Hello, how are you doing? I think I've come up with the answer.
Not this again. I should never have texted you. Now go away.
You and I both know that's technically hard to make happen. But this one says, without question, you are Britain's greatest literary hero.
Also says people think I wrote Cinderella.
And this one says you're a genius. Well, they all say.
Would you just... Shh. Doesn't matter what they say. It's hardly important. It doesn't change anything. Now would you please just leave?
I just want to help you see.
See what? See all the things people who don't know me say about me. If I wanted to do that,
to see what you mean to people, to the world, to see the good you did.
What good? I hardly changed the world, did I?
Oh, but you did. You gave them stories which transcended the decades.
I stole them.
Adapted. You introduced people to how they behave, words and phrases they use without thinking about, characters which have been the greatest in history. And you think you've done nothing.
Do not get me started on that lot. They're hardly some God-given miracle, are they? Thinking about them makes my blood boil. There's one of them in here the other day. You know him. He wears black all the time, contemplates a hell of a lot. Talks us to rubbish. Hamlet.
Hamlet?
Yes. Annoying little plague soul. Always moaning about how hard life is for him, how hard done by he is. I made him a bloody prince, for God's sake. What more can he ask once? He came in here, demanded he'd gotten the wrong play, because he dies at the end and it's not what he wanted. Well, I told him. Only killed him off to stop hearing him moan. Arrogant coward. You know, I'm tempted to rewrite the ending. Make Claudius live, just to spite the idiots.
Well, you can only blame yourself for that one.
Well, I could blame you.
No, I haven't got that far yet. They're not all that bad.
And how would you know?
I think that may be the single most stupid thing you've ever said to me.
I don't see why it's seemingly impossible for you to see the mistakes.
The good outweighs the bad. Simple as that.
It's hardly a good argument, though, is it?
Oh, what is it that you've done that's so intolerable for you? I can't see it, the world can't see it, so what is it? Help me understand.
There's the moneylender, Shylock.
Yes, Yes, and you gave him that speech that made the audience realise that he was as human as them all.
What about the general then?
One of the greatest figures in your work. He was the first character of his kind. Revolutionary.
The women. Oh, see? You can't think of any comeback. I failed half the population of the world, and you can't deny that. I created these women who could have been amazing. They were strong, confident, intelligent, and I failed them. The women, they didn't get the main parts, the men did. Whenever a woman seemed to, I'd make sure a man would take over. The men, they got the best lines, speeches, only because people like him told me it's what an audience wanted. Just give the audience what they want, he said. Make them happy. And they always get what they want. Selfish idiots. But I failed them. Married them off. Tamed them. Killed them when they're no use to me anymore.
You're beginning to sound like your characters. Stop moaning. They are incredible and you made them. That's something you need to be proud of.
Hardly.
Oh, shut up. Oh, you have to be an idiot. That's the only possible answer I can think of why you are willingly looking for mistakes in your work that you spend hours, days, months crafting, slaving over. Why? Look for something you can't change now.
Well, you could.
Who's this?
Marlowe.
Christopher Marlowe.
Yes.
He's dead.
Yes.
I saw him a day ago.
Well, he'll be dead soon then, won't he?
Right.
You really think you're right, don't you?
Yes.
Why?
I can't really explain it, but let me show you.
That sounds ominous. Now, how exactly, may I ask, are you going to do that?
We will invite some of the women you claim to have failed here.
Into the office?
Yes. Problem?
Well, just that I don't really like them being here.
What?
I don't like them being here, okay? They create such a mess.
Oh. Can't see this being much of a problem, can you? We will ask them questions and prove that I am right and you are wrong.
Cocky?
Confident?
No, you're just cocky.
Oh, whatever. Do you agree?
Go on then, but I get to choose the women.
No! No, that's hardly fair. You're just going to pick the ones you know weren't good.
I thought you said they were all good.
Shut up. That's not the point and you know it. We'll pick them and take it in turns.
Deal. But the other can't complain about who is chosen.
Agreed. Right, who goes first?
Well, I'm the older one, so me, I suppose.
Yes, but as I'm the younger, I think I should go first. Give you time to arrest your back, Grandpa.
Plague on you, I'm not that old now. Go on. Let's do this place.
Stop it. Please make yourself comfortable, Dick. Oh, thank you.
It's lovely to see you again.
Why did you need me? I need your help showing this old fool.
Less of the old, please.
Oh, that between us we made some amazing, well-rounded female characters. And you think I'm the right person for that? Oh, you're the perfect example, Juliet. The eponymous heroine who sacrificed everything she had for love. You're one of the greatest characters we've created between us.
Well, that wasn't what I was
A true leading lady. Someone you need to be proud of
She's
to have
just
created.
a young man's view on what love should be, not what it really is, okay?
Well, actually,
Nonsense! She is the physical representation of true love within literature. You can't argue with that. That's a perfect role for a woman to play.
But she's not exactly the strong character you could have been, is she? Just a bit of a whiny
Would you
talker.
just listen to me? Now, since you just seem to want me here to look at and argue over, I may leave. But if not, and since I am here, I few questions I'd like answering.
Of course, ask away.
Why Romeo? Pardon? Well, it's just I've met some of the other men you've created, and well, Romeo doesn't really stand up against them. And, in fact, if I'm being totally honest with you both, which I feel I can be, the men aren't much to talk about.
Hang on. You don't like Romeo?
Oh, well, it's not that I don't like him. He's a perfectly pleasant man. It's just that I don't love him, per se. I don't get that warm feeling I've read about when he walks into the room. It's more like a cold sweat.
Okay, so you're honestly telling me that Juliet doesn't love Romeo? I think I need to sit down.
Join you on that one?
Well, it's just me and some others feel the men aren't exactly Mr. Darcy.
Who?
Don't worry. What I mean is, they lack substance, you know?
No, I don't know, actually. Thank you very much. Now, this isn't why we brought you here.
I'm still a bit confused. What did we do wrong with Romeo?
Well, firstly, there's the way he's incredibly pushy.
Pushy?
Yes. Well, if I'd my way, he would have got a kiss on that balcony, not a bloody marriage agreement. I hardly knew the boy.
Yes, but that's love falling head over heels. Love at first sight.
Rubbish, that's just you being late for a deadline. And anyway, love at first sight doesn't exist. Lust at first sight, yeah. But love, you know.
What would you know anyway? You're a child.
Exactly, that brings me to my next point. I'm hardly old enough to be let out alone, and you forced me into falling in love.
It's just that
Well,
love
age-
conquers all.
Yes, age is a construct.
Age is a construct.
Absolute bullshit.
Watch your mouth, young lady.
Do not use such foul language.
Well, you do.
Do as I say, not as I do.
That is my life in a nutshell. How would you feel if your daughter waltzed in here at 13 telling you she was going to get married to a man much older than her and she'd only met one?
Well, I wouldn't allow it.
Oh, even if it's love?
Yes, it's just wrong.
Then why let me? It's just one rule for us and another for the rest of the world. I'm hardly old enough to be trusted walking out alone and you force me into falling in love. I don't want to be in love. I want to see the world.
What?
I want to see far-off lands and experience new things. I want to talk to people I'd never be allowed to meet. See the world. Without that whiny, lovesick puppy following me around all day. That's all he ever does. Oh, Juliet, where are you going? Juliet, can I go? Juliet, what's that? Juliet, come with me, Juliet. Why are you shouting at me? I hate him. If I have to fall in love, I would have wanted it to be slow. I want a man who lets me be independent and doesn't insist on doing everything together. I want something like Beatrice and Benedict have.
Constant arguing and annoying each other.
No, falling in love with someone who knows all your flaws and doesn't care. Oh, yes, they argue, but they mean no harm. They love each other, and it just took them a while to work it out. And that's how love should be. Not just looking at someone deciding they're the right person. Romeo didn't even love me. Before he saw me, he wanted Rosalind. He doesn't love either of us. He's just a horny teenager.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry isn't always good enough.
Are there any more problems, or is that it? Please, Lord, let that be it.
Jesus, why do I die?
Oh, well.
You. I want him to answer.
I just thought death is the ultimate sacrifice, isn't it? To love someone so much, you'd lay down everything you know and have to be with them, even if it meant dying. I never had that. I didn't fall head over heels in love, but it doesn't mean I can't believe in it. It just means I romanticised it. I made you die because I couldn't see you being happy without Romeo. And you may think I'm wrong, but there are thousands of people who agree with me. They see your death as the greatest sacrifice. And that's it, I guess. Death is just the logical answer.
There is something I like.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. I like the way people smile at the day. And in the same way, the fact it reduces them to tears. I guess it's that they're so enraptured with the idea of two people being so in love they would do anything just to be together. Something so special about that. It's like a burning hope inside that something good could happen. Even at the end when they're crying and I look at them And it's so obvious the worst is going to happen to us. We desperately want some hope of love of being able to conquer all.
I'll try.
Have hope. I'll try. Oh, why not me? I'm just as good as him. What's he done that's so extraordinary? Or maybe she knew he needed it. He needs hope. It's a cruel world without it. That small feeling that something will go right and there will be some saving grace. He doesn't have that. Doesn't see what's right in front of him. Hope. It's quite ironic, really, when we think about it. I mean, we write these stories so based on hope, yet the person creating them doesn't have any. It's something he gave to so many people. Hope that love does conquer all. That the good get rewarded, and the bad suffer.
I'd say that was a draw.
Oh, how could she say stuff like that?
She was being honest with you. If you don't like that, tough.
But Romeo isn't bad. He's just as good as any of the others. Okay, so maybe he isn't as troubled as Richard III, or as funny as Bottom, or as engaging as Mercutio, but oh, he's the perfect lover, sacrificing himself for love.
Well, could have waited a minute.
Where's the fun in that?
We're talking about a man dying here.
No, not the point. She just wrote him off.
It's the Hamlet issue.
What?
You're suffering with the Hamlet conundrum. A character who cares so much for their own life they don't see a need for audience entertainment.
Oh, how could we let this happen?
It's what we get for making them real, okay?
There you are.
Oh, Jesus Christ, help me.
Where were you? We agreed that we would meet half an hour ago.
I know, I'm very, very sorry, my lady. Can we reschedule?
Again?
I know, I'm very sorry, but this is really important right now.
No, let her stay. It's clearly important.
No, believe me, we can continue with our conversation. Now, my lady, this just takes precedence right now.
Everything always takes precedence, doesn't it? This is all some elaborate game you're playing with me, trying to make me lose heart and give up on my dream.
No, that's not the case, I assure you that. Tomorrow, I promise we will talk.
I'm not moving until you talk to me.
Let her talk to you. It's fine, I'll
Screw
watch.
you, you're going to stick up for me.
Whoa! Well, I don't know who she is. Anyway, why should I stick up for you? You just stick up for me.
I knew it. You are avoiding
Oh,
me.
here we go again. You're being paranoid.
How dare you suggest that? I am not paranoid. It's not paranoia if it's proven to be correct, is it? I've been thinking you did not want to talk to me, and I was correct.
Okay, calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down. Who are you to talk to me like that? Treat me like I am nothing.
I made you. It gives me all the right in the world to talk to you how I wish, you ungrateful witch.
But didn't you
Oh,
just
shut
say
up!
that?
That's not the point here. There's a difference between allowing a character to have their say and them trying to change their own fate.
Why should that matter? You constantly hear about people wanting to change their lives, and you're telling me that I can't, just because you see yourself as being some high and mighty overlord. You have to have control over all our lives. Well,
I think what you're trying to
you
say
think,
is that.
but you don't know. I want to know what he means by belittling me in this way, not what you think he may mean.
Believe me, I am very well qualified to answer to what he thinks and what he means.
Who are you to say this? Who are you to address me, a queen, in such a ghastly manner?
Doesn't matter who he is.
It is if he's going to stand there and abuse me.
It would be too hard to explain to you who I am.
Try me.
He's me.
Pardon?
I said he's me.
Ridiculous. How can there be two of the same person? Oh, I know. This is some elaborate hoax, isn't it? You've gone and hired some idiot actor to come in here and confuse me.
Okay. So you got a point with this one.
Thank you. You're blowing it all out of proportion.
Exactly. But if you feel so strongly about all of this, maybe we should let her pitch some ideas.
Are you serious?
Yes, I mean, it can't hurt, can it? We don't have to take them on board. Just let her have a say. You claim about failing these women, so let's see what they want.
You've changed your tune.
Well,
Go on then.
No. I want to sit on the chair. This is my chair. I always sit on this chair. There we go. I've done it. Stop it. Stop it. Ah, no, that tickles.
I'm here to suggest some changes which I see as being needed within the works of one William Shakespeare due to their huge failings both in regards to character development and the plot lines in general.
Huge failings.
I would like to begin with A Winter's Tale.
What?
Don't worry, it's coming up for you.
In particular, the character of Hermione. You have no idea the extent of your failings here.
Who?
The first problem I see in this play is Leontes. I mean, what is it with you and creating characters? The men, I'd like to point out, who only think with their penis.
We prefer weapon, actually.
Or thing.
Manhood is a good one.
It's so obvious she isn't cheating on him. His jealousy is pointless. And, let's be honest, if I was married to a man like that, I'd probably cheat. Then there is that god-awful trial.
Whoa.
It's not worth it. Let us speak.
Why on earth is it a crime for a woman to cheat on her husband? I'm hedging a strong bet that it isn't illegal for a husband to cheat on his wife because, oh no, that's all just fine. Nothing to worry about there. That's just a man being a man. Then there is that ending. I mean, her forgiving him? Why would you do that?
She doesn't.
Excuse me.
She says nothing. It's ambiguous. I mean, she could forgive him because she loves him and understands that people make mistakes. And by doing so, she shows that she's a strong character. Or she might not forgive him and say nothing. And by doing so, she puts an end to their marriage or any trust they have for each other. Either way, she's the strongest person in the room.
Moving on. There is Amelia in Othello. Oh, where do I begin with this one?
Oh, I'm sure you know.
Why is she married to such a horrible man? I mean, you and marriage have some complicated issues, don't you? Either there have to be strange and confusing plot lines which lead them to getting married, or a totally unhappy marriage that ends in death. Are you trying to make a point?
Let's avoid that one, shall we?
Yes, I'm with him on this.
Then there is that stupid handkerchief. I mean, if you're going to give the person you are in love with an item to symbolize that love, a handkerchief seems a bit pointless, don't you think? Oh.
Pointless, really.
Then she gives the one person who's clearly evil that handkerchief. It's idiocy. And don't you dare argue it's a wife's duty, because believe me, husbands are pathetic wastes of space.
Is there anything you like?
I'll give you that speech, though. Now that's a credible speech.
What speech is that?
Act 4, Scene 3. Let husbands know their wives have sense like them.
No, can't remember it.
You've not bloody written it yet, that's why. But I vaguely remember it.
But then it's completely undermined by her unjustified death.
Amelia's death's totally justified.
How so?
Well, think about it. She's the one character in the play Iago underestimates, right? I mean, it's ironic. She's the character he should know more than anyone else. They're married, and have been for a while, so he should know his own wife. But he doesn't. At all. She's the one that discovers what he did. She's the one that reveals it to all. And so, she accepts death.
Okay, so she's a strong character, but accepting death is a bit lame.
I have to agree with what's-his-face on this one.
Is it really hard to remember my name?
But she does die for a reason. Think about it.
I get it, because it's dramatic, and he's all done, and then boom! One more dead body!
No.
Because she's a woman, and you hate women.
No, I never said I hate women. Really, think about it. What does her death mean?
It represents the oppression of women.
No. Well, I guess. But it shows Iago for what he is. An evil monster. The whole play, he's honest. Iago good. Iago. And then he kills the one character in the play he should love. Simple, really. What else you got?
You're on fire.
Thank you.
Me.
What?
Me. I want to talk about what you did to me.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Let's be honest, I'm the most messed up one out of all of them.
Well, what are the issues?
Stay out of this, okay? You have to write it the way I did now. Leave it to us. Go on.
Why send him away? He could change this.
You can't. This is what I've struggled to explain to you. I mean, I get why you want to change things, so do I. But the plays, they're out there now. What's done is done. But I can try and explain.
Please, explain.
Well, what do you want to know?
Why do I have to be so manipulative?
It's set in a medieval world. It's hardly a democratic society, let alone an equal one. So why would a woman be in charge of the situation? The only way you could take any sort of control. You have to be a harpy about it, really.
I don't see why.
Okay, so you're a doting, loving, kind wife. The epitome of female grace and beauty. Is that going to convince an audience you're a strong character or even interesting? No. That makes you like the others.
I'm sure
You
that...
constantly argue you want the women to stand out. You want to be different, right? Well, you got that.
But I'm evil!
No. You're misguided, that's all, not evil. To me, it wasn't about that. It was about being naive. Showing that maybe dreaming and getting those dreams isn't always a good thing. I mean, maybe power isn't a good thing. How it corrupts people. How greed can consume us all.
Hardly given me a good reputation, though.
You see, that's where you're wrong.
How so?
You're one of the greatest female characters I created, hands down. Ask anyone to name a female character. And after Juliet, they'd more than likely say you. School children, they write essays about you, they learn about what you did. They know more about Lady Macbeth than they do about me.
Really?
Yes!
But what about the ending? Madness and death. If you wanted me to be a strong character, then why write me off? Death is such a cheat's ending.
Death is never a cheat's ending, nor is madness.
Explain it then, because to me it is.
The madness is about guilt, not just tied up loose ends. You and your husband, you're responsible for a lot of death, including people you love, like Banquo. And because you're human, you feel that guilt, because you hurt people you love. Of course that overwhelming feeling of guilt's going to play with your head. You'd be cruel if it didn't.
Okay, but why death?
That was for the audience, more than for me. I wanted to show power doesn't always have good outcomes. It's moral when you think about it. Am I right?
Mind if I come back in? I'm being harassed by a young man
Oh,
just in blackout.
good. Yes, come in. You didn't tell him I was in here, did you?
No.
Oh, thank God. Now, my lady, is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I think that's everything.
Okay.
Thank you, Master Shakespeare. I'll be sure to have another look at a few things. Now you. If you dare try and change anything this man has created, I will personally find you. And when you're least expecting it, I will take that stupid pen of yours and shove it so far up your ass you will not be able to remove it. Are we clear?
Yes.
Guess what?
Yes. My lady. I get it now. She's a pain in the ass.
I quite like her, to be honest.
Seriously, she's a witch. Clearly some aggression issues
She
there.
really isn't that bad, trust me.
Well, you've changed your tune, haven't you? Not long ago you was complaining how annoying she was. Or was that my rather brilliant imagination?
I admit, because unlike some people, I can admit to my mistakes. I had some rather certain views on her, but she was just trying to help.
I swear we aren't the same person sometimes. I mean, why can't you just stick to the same ideals? It's so much easier. I know. Is it an age thing?
It's a life thing. I've just lived more.
Well, come on. There isn't that much difference between us.
Believe me, the next few years are not going to be easy.
I can't believe that. I mean, I'm a successful actor. Turned writer. My plays are being shown to theatres on a regular basis. People love me.
Is that all you care about, though? Success? There's more to life than that. What about your friends?
Johnson's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good drinker, a good time.
Yeah.
Kemp, he makes me laugh a lot. Arrogant but funny. The Burbages, good, honest men. And then there is Kit. the model of success. Clever, handsome, funny. The best writer I know. But not for long, apparently.
What about family?
Don't want to talk about it.
Why?
It's boring. No one cares about that.
Do you care though?
Why does that matter?
Because they're your family. You have a wife and children. How can you not care?
Well, they're miles away, safe and sound. I don't need to worry about that. I have a good wife. The children are all healthy. Life, marriage, friends, family. Ugh, they're all good. Ah, the complete works. Katherine. Why, she surely supports my case more than she does yours.
I wouldn't be sure of that. Now, take a seat, Katherine. Anything I can get you?
No.
Okay, we'd just like to talk to you, if that's okay.
About what? Your life! Your role as a woman!
Your marriage. Anything, whether it be positive or negative. You're free to speak honestly here, okay?
Is he around? Who?
Shut up! No, he's not around. No one can get in here without my permission. Hey.
Oh. Mm-hmm. 1 second. I'm confused. What's wrong with her?
We made a rather large mistake with this one, okay? Now this needs to be dealt with calmly. So no talking back, smart remarks, or anything overly loud. I need her to open up.
Why did you marry me off? What? I thought it would have worked out for you. You know, a strong, independent woman with a feisty attitude and being matched with a self-assured, sadistic braggart. Pardon?
Look, I know you had issues with the truth.
Issues? That's the understatement of the century. No, the universe. You married me to a monster.
I can't apologise enough.
Whoa! You shouldn't apologise for your art. You should never apologise. That just takes it away from the creation. Okay, so maybe your husband wasn't the nicest man on the planet, but this isn't your fault. That's how people interpreted it. His intention isn't the point. The point is that I'm saddled with a monster, and I have to hear them laugh night after night. They laugh like he's done nothing wrong, like watching him treat me like dirt is the funniest thing they've ever seen. Did you want to know what I think about my role? Well, I used to love it, but now I'm not so sure. What do you mean? I liked being the one in control, a rare opportunity for a woman to be the one running what's happening. It was fun being the shrew, and not being afraid to be myself, and embracing the feisty nature I was given. I could stand up against people and talk to them as an equal rather than a third-class character like the rest of them. He gets to have his say. He gets to control me. Is that the sun? Why, yes it is. No, it's the moon, Kate, you fool! It's degrading to have a brain and it be treated like it's nothing. And then to have to stand there and preach about my role in life when deep down inside I mean the opposite.
It was meant to be ironic, you know, the standout woman being the one preaching about being a good wife.
Well, that wasn't clear, was it? I'm not the only one who's done it to. Oh, that's a bit much. We just did what was right for the character and the woman in question. Please, dear Lord, tell me that's not how you think you should act towards women. Sell them off. But that's what you think is right. And do our thoughts matter that little to you? So little that you can just brush it aside without a second thought. See, this is why you failed. You didn't create female characters, you created objects. Objects! Worthless things for you to just push around and bend to your will. Kneel for you. I'm ashamed that women are so simple to bend to the will of men when they could be the strong ones. I'm ashamed I let him do this to me, but I'm more ashamed of you. You did this to me.
But it was just a story. Something to entertain people, not about sending a message. Showing people the harsh reality of a dysfunctional marriage.
Yes, but there are messages whether we want there to be or not. We don't have a say in what the audience take away from the plays. They read into it. Too much sometimes.
Well, they shouldn't.
Really? In 400 years, you seriously didn't think people weren't reading into your plays? I mean, all the times I've come in here, and you really didn't think they find meaning in every word you've written? How could you be that blind? Of course they read into it, every little thing.
Prove it. Prove it.
Remember that scene with the tailor?
Yes.
Well, when he denied me the clothes, people see that as him showing his power over me. By denying me the thing I want the most, he has control, and that, people think, is done to show me that I have to obey him for life to get easier.
It's just meant to be silly though, not taken seriously. I needed a bit more time added on to the play, and I thought it would have worked, you know. Push the play on a little there.
Not some cruel act of abuse between a husband and his wife.
Yeah.
Something to make the audience laugh a little, you know? Lighten the mood.
And it did. I can remember hearing them laughing from the side of the stage, watching their smiles.
But how was I meant to know the plays would still be being performed so many years later? The actors would dedicate their careers to it, and people would take every word as gospel.
Well, sometimes things stick. You have to understand that. And that means that the mistakes you made are going to be there for eternity.
You think you're a mistake?
Yes, they do.
No, that's one thing you're definitely
Well,
not.
how can you say that? You put me through hell and back and then say there aren't mistakes.
I didn't say that. I didn't say there weren't mistakes. I said you aren't one of those. No matter what I did to you, you're not a mistake, okay? I'm very proud to have you as one of the women I created. I mean, despite what I did to you, you're a strong character who can stand your ground. You stood up to those who got in your way. I mean, yes, it was something new. Perhaps a little too forward-thinking.
Why is that an issue? It shouldn't be an issue that I'm different.
He doesn't think you are, that's the point. So what? People laugh, but that's because some of it's funny. This doesn't make you any less of a woman. This doesn't define you.
And you say these plays are still being performed, right?
Yes.
Well, if they're so cruel and abusive like you're making them out to be, why are they still so popular?
I don't know. Exactly, no one knows. So what? There are a few mistakes, but it has struck around and that's what's important.
That will never be what's important. Okay, yeah, so I got to throw my weight around and show some idiot men that there is a place for a woman to have at least some power. But the message is something you just can't escape. I just hope you did the others justice.
Katherine. Wait till she meets the others.
Oh, how can you be so blasé? Oh, you're
I'm so offended! Criticism is something all writers have to face. If you can't deal with it, then shut up.
No, not from their own characters. How many writers do you see faced with this problem, yeah? The ones they created being able to say what they think.
Well, it's our own fault.
Oh, how?
All those hours we spend watching people, observing people to make the characters real, so an audience would be able to identify with them. That's what became important to us, not what happened to them. That was something else, a sweetener, really.
But that doesn't give them leeway to treat us like that.
It gives them all the leeway, all the power. We played God. We created these characters, actual, living, breathing characters with thoughts and feelings and what they want to believe.
This is your fault.
How on earth is it my fault?
Because you're the one that started all of
Because I
this.
know that, okay. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercise. And indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition, that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof, fretted with golden fire. Why, it appears no other thing to me than a foul pestilent congregation of vapours. What a piece of work is man! Oh, it's actually quite good.
Want to explain?
Not really. It's okay, you can come out, he's not here.
My God. I don't think I could live through another existential crisis. They're getting more entrenched.
Well, they're only going to get worse, I meant it.
Is that really necessary? He's insufferable enough as it is, let alone when you give him more to complain about.
But it makes him more interesting. And if we're being honest, he did need a little something added to it.
What's the big problem with him anyway?
He hasn't met him, has he?
Nope. And wait till he does. Oh, the moaning he will do.
Explain again the need to make him more of a twat? I mean, he's hot, but he's a twat.
It's about making him human, not just superficial outlines on a piece of paper. Imagine if you didn't have those thoughts and feelings that made you real. It'd just be boring, wouldn't it? I mean, he walks out onto a stage. Oh, hello, I'm Hamlet. I'm a little sad today. It would just be boring. And now he walks out onto a stage to be or not to be. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortunes, or take up arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them.
Makes no sense.
Oh, here we go.
He's got a point.
I mean, is to be or not to be actually a sentence?
It's supposed to be ambiguous.
There's a difference between ambiguous and complete and utter nonsense.
And you're walking that thin line.
The whole speech is like that, though. So confusing. But I guess a lot of the plays like that.
I'll remember that.
I think we've lost the point here. Can we leave my grammatical errors to one side, please?
What were you talking about?
The role of women in our work.
Jesus Christ. How are you doing with that one?
More than a little confused, to be honest.
I'm finding it enlightening.
Oh, of course you are.
And what's that meant to
Oh,
mean?
well, I'm just pointing out.
You
Okay.
two argue like an old married couple.
No, we don't.
Believe me in this one. You really do. It's quite reason, actually.
Okay. So if you're so knowledgeable about all of this, what do you think about the women?
I never said I was knowledgeable at all. I was just expressing an opinion.
Actually, he's got a point. I'm intrigued.
Let's not go there, okay?
But now you're making us even more interested. I mean, come on, it seems like everyone else we've spoken to has an opinion on, well, everything actually.
Well, all people have views.
Yes, there's views, and then there's being told about your huge failings.
Well, nobody's perfect, are they? So you shouldn't expect so much of yourself. Or self. What's the right terminology here? I mean, it's probably him. You seem too cocky to see things as less than perfect.
Do they all hate me? Is this some universal agreement they've made out there?
It's not that we hate you, it's just we strongly dislike you.
Oh, and that makes it better, does it?
Well, slightly better, yeah.
Oh, shut up. What about him?
Oh, we like him.
He's nice. And I'm not.
You're just a little bit harder to work with, to be honest. Well, I wouldn't know personally. Lovely to meet you, by the way.
You too. So, you'd rather have the depressed one over me?
On balance, yes. From what I've been told, you're not that easy to work with, and they all much prefer when they met him. The advice is a little bit less objective.
Should we just get back to the point?
No, I'm quite enjoying this, actually.
Why is my opinion so important to you?
We want to know is all.
People aren't normally interested in what I have to say, so why are you now?
No, that's not true at all.
Yes, it is, and you know it. I'm always ignored. Every time in that bloody play that I talk, I'm ignored.
So, you think I've done you a disservice?
Yeah, it's always Hamlet who people talk about, or my brother and my father. It's not me, and I'm just as interesting as the rest of them, if not more so.
How?
When my brother goes away, he tells me how I shouldn't have sex with Hamlet, right? So I reply, saying how it's unfair we, as women, can't have sex before marriage.
You're young and innocent. Of course, sex before marriage didn't cross your mind.
How do you know what crosses my
How
mind?
do I know that?
Of course he knows what crosses your mind.
But we're human. You made sure of that, so how can you possibly know? We think and feel things. You've seen that, so how can you possibly think you can know?
Actually, she makes a good point. We don't know what the old think, do we?
Yes, of course we do.
Oh, for God's sake, have you not learned anything?
Oh, don't even go on.
Before this turns into yet another domestic, I do have a question.
Go ahead.
Do I kill myself? Or was I killed?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know, okay?
How can you not know?
I think it's fair to say my head wasn't exactly in a good place at that time. I don't really want to remember that time.
Why? What happens to us?
You know I can't tell you that. Rules are
Oh,
rules.
screw rules. Tell me.
Trust me, you don't want to know.
I think we probably shouldn't push it.
No. You're so changeable. Now tell me.
I'm not changeable. change is what you'll do, and that might mean certain things don't happen which are important. So would you just deal with that, please, and stop having a fit about it?
Couldn't put it better myself.
Can we get back to the point here?
If we must.
So why make myself and Gertrude third-class characters? We're literally the only two women in your most famous play, and let's be honest, we're a bit useless.
I guess I was so focused on what Hamlet was going through. Two women in his life had to be different, but ultimately failed.
Failed?
He means it perfect. I mean, people aren't perfect, right? So it would make sense that the two key women in his life were.
You're learning. Everyone in the play failed in some sort of way, so Gertrude marries too quickly, you go mad and die. It's about human weakness. We all want perfection and we just can't have it. I'm sorry.
I get it.
Oh, good.
Well, we do need to sort a few things out, because I hate to break it to you, but we do all talk out there.
Oh, we know. It's become very apparent.
You. I accept the fact that no one is perfect. You say it yourself constantly. It would be impossible to create a character that everyone was able to identify with, because everyone is different, and you've shown that in your plays, especially in the women. We're all unique and we're memorable, and that's an achievement. There are plenty of writers that can never achieve that. Okay, so the women aren't perfect, but nor are the men, and that's fine too. Also, remember, no matter who reads or sees the plays, of course they're going to think different things, and you can't please everyone, and that's fine too. And stop and think about the world rather than yourself for a minute. Legacy is one thing, and believe me, yours is insane, okay? So, yes, you're the most successful playwright, and okay, you've changed the way we read and write, but acting like that's the most important thing is wrong. Your work isn't everything, okay? Your friends and family are, and if not them, then telling stories instead of making money. Instead of ignoring your friend here, listen to him. He's lived and you're him, so deal with whatever weird issues that's giving you, okay?
Thank you.
Oh? Well, I'm off. Got to see a woman about some flowers.
So, really, I was.
Shut up.
I'm joking. But you have to admit that was very, very interesting.
Okay. I'm only going to say this once. So listen. Thank you.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm not saying it again.
Oh, just one more time. I want to remember this moment.
That you're ruining.
Right. I best be off. Place to write, people to see.
Okay.
See you in a year, right?
I'm here whenever you need me. Right, back to it. This is going to be fun.